Yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, sports fans. Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories that happened this past week. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fired up, ready to go. There is just so much going on.
Yeah, I think we say this every time we do the show. There's like a big game this Sunday. I don't know what it is. A lot of people talking
I don't
about
know.
it.
I mean, I thought it was like time for
the curling
cricket or
championships,
something.
wasn't it? The curling championships, I think this
That's
weekend.
what I thought it was. That's what I
Hope
thought.
you're ready to talk a lot about that and much
of
more.
course.
I do want to say we are live, fan interactive. So please, if you are joining us live, join the chat. Let us know what you think. If you have an opinion on the topic we're covering, or if there's something you want to talk about, let us know.
I find it hard to believe if Danny isn't going to be here today.
I don't know.
I mean, he's an LA guy, right?
He could be. I mean, there's some big news coming out of LA. Again, I want to thank all of the wonderful listeners out in Dallas, Georgia, WDJY 99.1 FM for putting us on every Saturday morning, as well as or Saturday afternoon, as well as 990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you for the support there. And SEC TV, Public Access Channel 12 in Southeastern Connecticut, every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. If you're listening or joining us during one of those, check us out live every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and join the show. We'd love to have you. So, Ron, I think it's about time to get this ball rolling. I don't know. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I am ready.
You are ready. So we are going to start off with not the big game. The NBA trade deadline that happened last night was the last day. It has passed. A lot has changed in the NBA. Some major move happened that check us. We did a NBA special this week as well. You can check that out with Kenny. And we talked a lot about this Luka Doncic to LA move. But Ron, I figured this is how we'll do it. We'll talk some winners, some losers, who we felt did well and who may not have done so well. So I guess we'll start off. We'll do a winner each, then a loser. We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds pretty neat. Yeah.
All right. So, as usual, as the host, it is my honor to have my guest go first. Your first winner, Ron.
My first winner is Jimmy Butler. Ooh. How much did he win? You know, this is a guy that was basically, they wouldn't even let him play at this point. You know, in Miami, you know, his mouth runneth over. Pat Riley is not having it. He's not having it. So he shipped him off, and he actually did him a favor by sending him to Golden State. He can at least play with Steph Curry for a little while. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's going to really do anything. I don't think it really moves the needle that much, but Jimmy Butler wins because he gets to play with Steph Curry.
So I have them as a loser, Golden State. And I didn't
say Golden State was a winner.
Just Jimmy Butler in general.
Jimmy Butler.
All right.
Because they didn't win.
All right. So my first winner, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. And I have the Los Angeles Lakers not because Luka Doncic today, but the fact that they now have a player that they can build on for the next 7 to 8 years, right?
Yeah.
And now you look at the LeBron James phasing out, right? 40 years old, maybe. But now if LeBron James is kind of on the back end, you've got a top-notch all NBA player in your pocket for the next 5 to 10 years.
This is a big statement.
So that was a huge statement by LA, and the fact that they could pull it off for basically nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, not that let me rephrase that. Not for nothing, but not what you would think you would get for a Luka Doncic if this was just a normal trade, like 10 first-round draft pick, something crazy. And when you heard the deal, you go, really? That's all they got? Really?
Well, I don't know because, look, they came in last night without Anthony Davis, and they put a whooping on the Celtics.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they look really good. They look solid defensively.
So motivated. They had no motivated, and they didn't even have Anthony Davis, Dallas.
So I don't think it was a bad deal. I'm just surprised because when you compare it to most recent Bridges deal, when they got 5 number 1 picks for Bridges.
That's what I'm saying.
Bridges is not Anthony Davis. He is not, Luka. Luka deserved to get a couple more at least.
Yeah. All right. So your first loser.
My first loser is Luka Doncic. Luka is a loser in my book. First of all, yes, I get that he went to the Lakers and he's going to be there for a while, but I don't see them winning a championship, anytime soon. So, yes, LeBron James is there, but they both want the ball. They're not going to win a championship together. It's not going to happen. Anybody that thinks that, think again. Now, with all the picks that they have none of, I don't even know if they have a first-round pick until 2031, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Maybe 32.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and they are not going to be able to build up this team except through free agency for the most part because that's the only option they have. And that is only going to do so much because you're not going to go and get, a player.
Danny, there he is.
Needed.
There he is. We're talking about it right now, Danny. I will
we
say
are.
this. This is another reason why, though, Ron, the Lakers are a winner because now they don't have to pay Luka as much.
Well,
for
that's
the next
another
deal.
Reason why Luka is a loser.
So you could, right? The player's a loser. The team's a winner.
The team is a winner.
Now they can get more talent. They could get more talent.
$160 million.
But now the team can use $160 million to partner with somebody else.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you got Luka as a loser. I have Dallas as a loser because of the fact that you got a player that's 6 years older in Anthony Davis. And now if I'm looking at it, Kyrie's not going to be there much longer either. You've got no foundation in Dallas right now. You're going to at some point be a bottom of the barrel team. And while the Lakers will probably still be a dominant team because of Luka. So I thought Dallas should have done more.
I don't think either of them are going to have an easy go of it. And look, the next 5 years are not going to be easy for the Lakers. It's just not going to be easy. They don't have draft capital. They don't have players. They have one player. That's it. They're going to have Luka.
Bronny. No, we're not going there. Danny, you want to chime in anytime, buddy? John, stop it. Yeah, I'm just jealous we have of Luka.
I'm not jealous because what do you got?
Luka's an amazing player, but again, he carried Dallas to a finals last year, which they weren't a very good team. He has that possibility or potential. Who's his Kyrie Irving? If LeBron James is not there, who's the next?
I put Dallas in the winner section because now I think they have a defensive team that can win a championship. I don't think they're going to, but they can.
You're a defensive-minded guy. That's why, and I love that about you. I really do.
Yeah, look, I watched these guys play last night, and I was impressed. I was impressed in the players, and yes, they were motivated, and I get it. But I do like what they had in that game last night, and I feel like they have a team that can shut some opponents down. Look, they played very well. Very well.
Yeah. So my second winner, since you've got Dallas, I have Cleveland. And I looked at it. Boston went into Cleveland and pretty much dominated that game. And they went out and they said, let's get DeAndre Hunter, who's a very good player.
Yes.
To add to that team. And I don't think they're going to just sit back and say, okay, we have enough to get to
for the
this
matchup,
point.
right?
Right?
It's for the
You're
matchup
tall,
with Tatum.
lengthy, can score. Now you put it right. What Boston's able to do, he's another guy that can switch off and do different things. So you could put him on Brown, Tatum, and he becomes a matchup offensively. It's going to be difficult. I love that move for Cleveland. I thought Cleveland was big winner in this one. Big winner.
I do too. I think so too.
All right, so who's a loser? Who's another loser, Ron?
Chris Middleton. Oh my God, he might. He just barely edges out my number one.
I mean, he'll get moved.
But
he's going to get a buyout. He'll go somewhere else.
Oh my God!
What was Milwaukee
going from Milwaukee to the Wizards?
But let me ask you this: I put Milwaukee as a loser, and I did it because I don't think Kuzma's an upgrade from Middleton.
No,
I don't think it's a better player. I think they're about the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's an upgrade.
So now you're talking about chemistry.
Exactly. So they lose
you had it with Middleton.
Chemistry.
Yeah. I put Milwaukee. I agree with you as a loser as well. Well. I got one more winner. How many more do you have?
I got one winner and one loser.
I got one winner, two more losers. So what do you got for a winner? Who's your last winner?
My last winner is San Antonio.
Bang. That's who I got, right? DeAndre.
If that's not an upgrade, I don't know what is. That's the biggest upgrade by anybody.
If they can re-sign him and Wemby for the next 5 years, you're talking about a force in the Western Conference.
They're
because
now.
Wemby's
Game
only getting
one.
But Wemby's only getting better, right?
Game one.
And Wemby's only getting better. Like Wemby is advertised what we thought he would be, right? So I could see this dynamic being right. You add a third piece next season, and this team is off and running. They're back in the playoffs.
I'm not even sure it might take till next year. I think what they just did improves them so much that I think they're going to get a playoff spot, like for real playoff spot, not a play-in. They're going to get a playoff spot.
We'll see. It's going to be close. So two losers I had. Golden State, we already talked about. Plus, they signed him for 2 years, $121 million. Jimmy Butler.
Doesn't that make Clay upset?
I would say
they didn't have the money to give to him.
Ron, if there's a guy that quits every year on his team, it's Jimmy Butler. So why would Golden State go into this thing thinking in 2 years this guy's gonna? He's gonna get tired. And he's not going to want to play that kind of style, or something's going to happen, and he's not going to want to stay in Golden State either. Because he nixed this trade at the beginning. He didn't want to go to Golden State. He wanted to go to Phoenix, and they couldn't work out a deal, and he ends up taking the deal because Golden State offered to extend his contract.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he's there. So I think Golden State's going to regret this. How can I be on live stream with you guys? Someday, somehow. You never know. You never know. One more big loser for me as well, New Orleans. You give up Brandon Ingram, who's the only player they really have on that team, because Zion can't decide to stay healthy. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to, to your point, I knew it was going to happen. But then you look at it and say, okay, well, all you have now is Zion, who doesn't play.
Well,
at least Ingram was a guy that you
guys, they never played a second together. They're three. Never played 1 second together.
It's almost like Brooklyn. You remember Brooklyn Nets when they got Harden, Kyrie, and Durant, and were like, this is going to be amazing. And they never played with each other.
Well, they played 11
games
4
or
games,
something. Yeah, it was something
games, whatever the heck it was. These guys never played a minute together. Never. Not one. Yeah. Not 1 minute.
That's crazy. But
so they gave into it and shipped them out.
This was one of the craziest NBA trade deadlines in probably modern or recent memory, because you saw so many different moves happening that this could change the landscape of the NBA for a few years now. So it was a good time, good fun time. We were talking about it back and forth.
Who was your last
New Orleans.
loser?
New Orleans.
Oh, my last loser is Phoenix.
Oh, you had another one.
Phoenix is
can't make a move. They didn't get out of the way.
They did pretty much nothing, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think the playoffs are going to be in their cards, especially with the moves like some of the other teams made.
Yeah, I think a lot of chemistry could be ruined there in Golden State. I don't think Jimmy Butler is a team player. I agree with you, Danny, 100%.
Yeah, but he still won because he got that contract.
Yeah, he won. He's a winner, but the team itself, I don't think.
No, the team. Oh, that was a terrible trade for them. Terrible trade.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk some NFL, Ron. This big game Sunday. I don't know, something called a Super Bowl. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
Is it a Super Bowl or the Pro Bowl?
That was a good game, by the way.
Did you see that throw?
I did not watch any of it. And I know you didn't either. 59, Super Bowl 59 this Sunday between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. What's your expectation in this game? I got a few questions, Ron. I'd love to ask you.
Go ahead, ask away.
And then we can kind of get into some other stuff if you want. All right. So this is how I wanted to approach this. Ron, will the pressure of a three-peat play a factor this Sunday with the Chiefs?
Well, it depends on how much they paid the refs.
You know, I'm glad you brought it up. No, I'm glad you brought it up because I heard something the other day and I said, you know what? I can't wait till Friday to discuss it. Yeah, Danny don't care. Yeah, well, it's not the Cowboys. We get it, buddy. You're not going to be seeing that for quite some time. No offense. So I will say,
it's been 30 years.
There is no officiating crew that can do more than 2 games of the same team. So you're telling me 9 different crews were all.
Look,
you know what I mean? Idea. So when I heard that, I really started like you'd have to have all 9 different crews each time say they're going to do it. It's just listen. It's the luck of the draw when you win, you win.
Tickets to the press box to go see Taylor. You can take your daughter.
Donald Trump's going to be there too. First sitting president ever to attend a Super Bowl.
Oh,
it's kind of crazy to think about.
Oh,
so
my God.
Lots going to be going.
Look, it might be worth watching just to see if anything happens.
Over under Taylor Swift or Donald Trump get shown more at this on the Super Bowl broadcast. Woo, gonna be tough.
I don't know.
What channel is it on?
Fox.
Is it Fox?
No, Donald Trump.
It's Fox. Donald Trump's on there all day.
Donald Trump.
All right. So will it play a factor? 3P in their brain. Do you think it affects the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think a lot is going to affect the Chiefs. I don't think they faced a defense like this.
I remember that 18-0
really good.
That 18-0 Patriots game. You could tell how tight they were trying to go for that perfect season.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that's not in their mind. That's not in their mind.
Absolutely.
No team has ever done it. 59 Super Bowls. This is the first time. So you think about that.
It's only offensive players that I feel suffer from this pressure, right?
Every play matters.
Because when you look at it, the defense is just loose. They just want to go hit somebody. It doesn't matter what the situation is. They just want to go, right? That is a defensive player's mentality is completely different than the offense. Completely different.
I don't agree with it, Hugo. I'm telling you, it's not you. It's not what's going on in LA, Ron.
I don't know. I don't know. Look, we're going to find out, right?
We're
going to find out. You know, I'm going into this game. I'm going to really look at it objectively, you know, and just analyze, you know, each play. Did they miss something?
Like I said, Ron, we are both Patriot fans. Listen, we had a lot of goals go in our favor for us to get the tuck rule.
Was that bad?
The tuck rule alone would have started the dynasty. Again, this is what I'm saying. So
they changed the rule afterwards.
But I'm just saying, You know what I
I'm
mean?
just
Like
saying.
all these things play a factor. Anyway, all right. Second question, Ron. So 3-peat could be a factor. Can Saquon Barkley have a big impact on the game? So Kansas City's very good defensively.
Very good defensively. They're
Will
very good stopping the run.
Yeah. Will Barkley be the Saquon Barkley we've seen in the postseason so far?
I think you're gonna get what you get. That's
That's
what
some
he is this season, right?
We're gonna get what
No,
we get.
he is that player. It's not gonna be easy to get, big runs. It's not gonna be easy to get the runs.
Use AI for what, Hugo?
Yeah, AI for all the games, right?
For officiating?
Look, I think he's going to do his job. He's going to do his job, and he may break one because that's what Barkley can do. He can just break one. And it is up to the Kansas City defense to contain how much he is effective, right? But just because he's there, that's going to open up some plays for the receivers to get down the field as well. So if Philadelphia has a lead going into the fourth quarter, it's Barkley time. Boom, 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 because he's eventually going to get through.
Okay.
But they need to get the lead and keep it.
Keep Mahomes off the field.
That's right.
Which defensive player will have the biggest impact? Chris Jones or Jalen Carter? Chris Jones for the Chiefs, Jalen Carter for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think it's Jalen Carter. I don't know what their plan is to stop Kelsey. I gotta imagine that he's got to be part of that plan. Has to be part of it, right? I mean, you gotta get. That is the biggest advantage for the Kansas City offense. It isn't Mahomes. It is Travis Kelce, because is there a player on that field that can cover him? And I don't think one person can cover him, because he's either going to get the strength over you or the ability just to carry you.
Can the Eagles defense rattle Patrick Mahomes?
I think it can. You just got to find a way. Look, there was nobody better than Bill Belichick disguising defenses and where you're going to attack. This is what Philadelphia has to do. Can they do that? That is the big thing. You have to have pressure on him, and you can't let him use his legs. Can't let him do it.
Will Jalen Hurts once again make a mistake to cost the Philadelphia Eagles a Super Bowl?
I hope not. I hope not, because I don't know. He might join the other two and just can't get it done. And you know who the other two are. I hope. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
MVP Josh Allen.
Yes. Congrats.
So I will say, look, I think what we're expecting, you're probably not going to get. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, because I think both defenses are really good.
agree with that.
And I think that it's going to come down to, again, what people don't want to see is that final play. And we know what happens when you give Mahomes an opportunity with very little time left.
Yeah.
That's what people have got to worry about. If Philly can't get that, to your point, that lead or have the ball at the end of the game, and Barkley's able to just chew up the clock and not give them an opportunity to get back on the field, that's what's going to make a difference. But then you got to look at the coaching aspect of it too, Ron. Like Andy Reid has been there, done that, and is proven now that he's probably the second best coach.
Also his former team.
Yeah, it's fun. He can't head coach for Philly. He's going Chiefs. We are doing our predictions at the end of the show. Danny, stay tuned for that as well. So we did a Facebook poll. And we got 50 votes. And out of those 50, 60% Philadelphia Eagles win. 40% the Chiefs.
I think it's one of those hopeful things, right?
Yeah, I think that's
just
more you
want
just
somebody
don't want to.
different.
Listen, three-peat's never been done. It'd be a piece of history in that aspect, but at the same time, it just creates more hatred towards the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I don't. It's an interesting aspect of it. I don't. The problem I have is I don't know if I trust Jalen Hurts enough. Because even in the playoffs, it hasn't really been Jalen Hurts. If they didn't get Saquon Barkley, the Saquon Barkley that's breaking 60-yard runs,
You'd be talking about Washington.
Yeah, I don't think they win. I don't. And that's a factor for me because I can see Spagnuolo, the Chiefs defensive coordinator, making a game plan that's going to try to limit Saquon Barkley in the touches and try to make them throw the ball. I don't know if I trust that. I don't know if I trust.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, look, I'm still gonna hand it off to Barkley and let's see if he can break one. Right, he can. I mean, it's going to be a big factor. I think that is the biggest key to the game is Barkley, his effectiveness. Because if he's not effective,
they don't have a shot.
Done.
They don't have a shot. I don't know about that AI thing, Hugo. I haven't heard it. I'm sure it's going to come at some point. It makes sense.
Play calling.
Everything else is AI now. We're AI. Wait, are we?
I'm not real?
No, you didn't know that?
Oh,
damn it.
man.
I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Damn it. But it was in the contract. It was supposed to be me.
One more big story coming out this week, Ron,
It's
in
be
the
like
NFL.
Max Headroom. Me.
You remember? Oh, my goodness. We missed the good commercials, too, by the way. Myles Garrett, the all-pro defensive end for the Cleveland Browns, he's asked for a trade.
This is
miles apart.
Crazy.
So you're talking about one of the top 5 defensive players in the league. Should New England make a move?
Absolutely. Everybody should. Everybody should be saying, all right, well, here's what we can offer. That's what you do. When you got a player like this, he is a cornerstone for a franchise. Look, if you have a quarterback on one side of the field, like the Patriots do with Drake May, you want to build around him. You put a guy on defense and build around that player. This is the guy you want to build around. This is the guy.
Danny seems to think Dallas could be a possibility. I will say this. So I thought a lot about this. And I said, can the Pats convince Garrett that they could build a winning team? What they really need to do is say, look, we got the most money to spend in the offseason. So you're only the first piece of a multi-layer plan.
What do they have? 146 million?
It's like 130 plus. Yeah, there's the most money to spend in the offseason.
You know, take away that tight end that they just signed.
Oh boy. You've got a young quarterback, right? So there's a foundation there. And now you've got a coach in Vrabel who's done it and knows how to win in the NFL. Could those be enough pieces? I also thought this, though, Ron. There were certain teams that were probably a piece or two away and should have won to the Super Bowl. Detroit, I can see making a strong run for this in Washington. And maybe even San Fran, who tries to get back into this winning way.
Yeah, so it's not going to be in their own division. That is not going to happen. So
and I will
rule out those teams.
He said it. He wants to go to a winner.
Yes.
So some of those teams, like even the Cowboys, New England, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think he will go to any of those teams. He's going to go to a contender. And to me, Washington looks pretty sweet right now because they're on a rookie quarterback contract who apparently is playing like veterans.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a lot of pieces that they need, that they already have, but they do have a lot of free agents. So, look, if you're the Patriots, you say, look, we have this much money. What will it take for you to want to be here? We can go out, we can go get a receiver. We can go get an offensive lineman, and we can go get a defensive back. That's what we can do, and then build the rest of the players through the draft and maybe some lesser.
What would you give up? So New England, 4th pick overall.
Yeah, I would do that.
Right.
Also, you might not have to give up that number 4 pick if you offer him your second quarterback on the team that just for whatever reason decided to light it up. And yes, I understand it was against backups and it was the last game of the season, the last hurrah, and I get that. But you don't think that Cleveland raised their eyebrow in a player like that? What he did and what he could do on a rookie contract?
I agree with you. So Danny, no one will go to the Patriots. Look yourself in the mirror because nobody's going to Dallas. How about Brian Schottenheimer, GM for the Patriots? I would never.
I don't think it's a problem. People wanting to go to Patriots now. Maybe with Mayo there, I think Vrabel is
more
a
stable.
little bit different.
I just cut a rhyme there. Stable with Vrabel.
Yeah, exactly. So,
right, but that's what most of these players are going to look at.
So I was thinking, what could the Patriots do before approaching?
Myles,
the first thing, you go and sign T. Higgins.
Maybe
you go sign T. Higgins or Amari Cooper.
I'm drafting at number 4.
Hunter.
No,
you're not.
I'm getting a defensive lineman that I'm going to say I'm putting you next to this kid.
Oh, well, yeah, that could do it too.
And then you think about...
But you don't want Hunter?
I do, but I'm saying at 4, I don't think he's going to be there. So get the best defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Now you say, Myles, this is your guy with you, right? So
yeah,
give him something he'd want. Because you can go get that wide receiver, right? For
that's why I say go sign T. Higgins and build through the draft on this other stuff. But you can also need an offensive lineman.
First we got to stop for a second, and you got to put up the comment that Danny just put up, because if anybody, Danny, and I don't swear a lot because we don't swear in this show, but that's an asinine comment coming from a Cowboys fan and Brian Schottenheimer as your head coach. And you want to talk about guys. You got a guy right now that can't even speak because Jerry Jones runs that team.
That's right.
Do not question Mike Vrabel.
And from what I understand, Vrabel is actually going to be in charge of picking the players.
I just can't. I can't with these Cowboy fans anymore. I'm done. Yes, Scott. Brian Schottenheimer for the Dallas Cowboys. And you're going to sit back and criticize Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
Danny, please. Come on.
Look, you want to hurt teams around you, right? So
I want to hurt Danny right now.
You go out, you get your offensive lineman, Trey Smith. He's a free agent for Kansas City.
Kyle,
that is one way to
Super
reverse.
Bowl baby. Who's your team, Kyle? Vrabel is the best. What are you talking about,
first of all, did I say that he was the best?
I don't know where he's going with this one. I love Danny. Danny, you're all right, buddy. I will say, we should have some fun seeing how this plays out, because we talked about the Luka trade and all this stuff. Here's another player that could really make a difference on a team. A Minnesota, one of those teams, right?
Cowboys.
Right? He's a Cowboys fan. Super Bowl, baby. I didn't criticize it. We wanted him also run. Oh, okay. So Myles Garrett in 117 games, 102.5 sacks, 240 solo tackles, 20 forced fumbles, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 1-time AP Defensive Player of the Year, 1-time PFWA Defensive Player of the Year, and a 2-time SN Defensive Player of the Year. So the man is a talent. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of teams trying to make moves to get him. Question would be is, again, he wants to go to a winner, but can a team sneak by and say, hey, look, we're going to build around you and maybe change? I think he's tired of losing in Cleveland, to be honest with you. So
Well, yeah,
a lot of these teams are going to be tough sells. He's not going to Arizona. New England would be a tough sell. But
there's a
you
few
get
guys in Cleveland that are free agents.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think
Chubb?
Ward actually said if Myles Garrett goes, then he's going to request a trade as well, who's their best cornerback. So we'll see. Cleveland could be a mess next year. Cleveland could be a mess again. Again.
They already are.
All right, Ron.
Hey, isn't this one of the franchises we put in the top five?
Top 5 worst franchises of all time, Cleveland Browns. Ron, we're going to have some fun. We're bringing it back, old school, one of our old segments. I hope you guys out there enjoy it. This is Triple Play.
Games in the series. Over toward third. This could be a double play, if not a triple play. It is! Around the horn, 5-4-3, triple play.
So our Triple Play segment, basically we give 3 names and you have to decide who you're starting, who you're benching, and who you're cutting. And we thought we'd have a little fun with the Super Bowl and some of these players. So we are deciding on Saquon Barkley, Travis Kelce, and A.J. Brown. Those are the 3 players.
This is tough.
We've got to decide who we start, bench, and cut.
Because they're all different positions.
They are.
And it's mind-boggling.
What do you value more? Cowboys need to fix their offensive line. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Grab a running back. Maybe the kid from Boise State. That might be a possibility, Kyle. Ashawn Jeffrey, I believe his name was. So there's a good shot there. Yeah, listen, it's sickening. Look at the listen, Jerry Jones is ruined the Cowboys to the point where till he's gone, you're not going to see anything change. All right, so I am first this week, so I will start off our Triple Play, and I am starting Travis Kelce. 1,004 receptions in his career, 12,151 yards, 12.1 yards per reception, 77 touchdowns. Man's done it for a long time. Consistency. We know here in New England how important a tight end is, especially for a quarterback.
We had the best one.
Right? I want my tight end. I'd take Travis Kelce. At 2, though. On my bench. I forgot what segment we're doing. On my bench, Saquon Barkley. And I want Barkley because I want a guy that can run the ball. The question would be health with him, but 7,216 yards rushing, a 4.7 yards per rush, 48 touchdowns. I trust that he can get it done if healthy. And it's a tough cut, but it cut A.J. Brown, 446 receptions, 7,026 yards, 15.8 yards per reception. So he's a deep threat, 49 touchdowns. But I feel like the other 2 would be more important if I was building an offense. You can get wide receivers to be successful. That's my Triple Play.
Yeah, I saw it the same way because, first of all, the biggest mismatch out there is going to be Travis Kelce. When you have to put 2 guys to cover the same guy, that is going to be a big factor. So there's always going to be somebody open because you have to give Travis Kelce so much respect. But defenses have a tendency to give too much respect, which is another factor why he's so good. This is what you get. You cause this chaos because of what he can do on the field. So that is the number 1 factor. So Travis Kelce is my number 1. My number 2 is simply Saquon Barkley because of a big factor.
You did it too.
He is that money guy that he can break something open in an instant.
Explosive. Yeah.
When you think you have him contained, you don't. He's that good. He is the most impressive running back since Barry Sanders.
That's a
And
major
there's been a lot
statement.
of good ones. And
a major statement.
I was a big Marshall Faulk fan, not a big fan of that guy from Minnesota, which I won't mention his name, but they were great. But Saquon Barkley, he had a healthy season, right? And look what he's done.
Yeah.
And then AJ Brown, who's
a great player. He really
great
is.
Player, but it is one dimension of the game because you got to look for the deep ball, right?
That's true, Kyle. Gronk made.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like Gronk.
Gronk was a tight end. Like
he was the best tight end of all time.
I will say this, Ron. We got to say this because we are New England fans, and I'm sure all this stuff gets out because we are, we're global. We're everywhere. AJ Brown, we don't mean it because strong ties to Mike Vrabel, possibly coming to. We wouldn't cut you if you're.
Oh my God!
Just saying, AJ. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, if he comes to New England, I uncut him.
Did we do one of these with Grunk and Kelsey and like Gates or something? I think once we did something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it had Grunk in it though.
Let's do it. Let's do that next week.
I think it was Gates, Tony Gonzalez, and somebody else.
Yeah. We should do a Grunk. What if we do next week? Triple play. We do like Grunk, Edelman, and we'll pick another Patriot.
Does it matter after that?
Wes Welker.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. The only guy that you have to worry about taking somebody else's spot is if you throw Tom Brady in there.
All right. That's our triple play, though. Hope you enjoyed it. We brought it back. We'll bring back.
Yeah, I was happy 5. You brought it in.
A little bit different.
I love it when the
but
fans.
Listen, JJ Redick's got the Lakers winning. I mean, that might not be about thing if he's the next JJ. JJ's got the Lakers winning. All right, we got one more NBA story, Ron, that we wanted to talk about. Brooklyn Nets, they're working out a current buyout for Ben Simmons. Why would a team be willing to sign him? So there's been a lot of talk. The Clippers and the Cavs are really interested when this move happens. And you asked the question, biggest bust in NBA history. Let's deep dive this, though. Why are teams still interested in Ben Simmons?
Because he's got so much talent.
Potential, right?
It's just in between the ears. It is completely in between the ears. He can't get out of his own way.
Ron, he's averaging 6.2 points, 5.2 rebounds, 6.9 assists. And you think it's limited roles. He doesn't play a lot. He's shooting 54, almost 55% this season.
If he was a full-time player.
2-time all-defensive, Ron, and he had a steals championship.
This is why you got Cleveland and other teams.
This is scary,
interested.
Ron. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, which we are, and they can pull this off, they got DeAndre Hunter, and now you got Ben Simmons coming off the bench. Boston's in trouble because Cleveland's making moves. This is a move to basically get them to the finals. And I don't think that's where I think we've underestimated Ben Simmons for so many years. If you get him to be what he is now for Cleveland, they probably go to the finals. They have enough talent to beat Boston.
It'll certainly raise eyebrows, right?
It might play for Christie. Yeah, Christie's brother with the Clippers. I mean, and even the Clippers, to me, the Clippers are a worse situation for him because then his expectations are higher. I think in Cleveland, they can just come in and say, whatever you can give us, we'll take. It's a plus.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
I
kind
mean,
of, to your point, right? What's in here for him, that probably helps him because now he's not a focal point. Donovan Mitchell's the team there in Cleveland.
Right.
Ben Simmons comes in. All you're expecting Ben Simmons to do is come off the bench. Hey, give us some solid minutes. You know what I mean? Get us 6-7 points a game, 6-7 rebounds, 5-6 assists. We're happy with that in Cleveland because that's all we need.
The
all we
problem
need.
is, I don't think anything helps him. Because no matter what the situation is, he's obviously has some issues mentally. So he's going to feel a certain way at different times. And it's just a matter of how long it takes him to pick himself back up. And does the team support him? Through those. If he's having a difficult time mentally, does the team let him, hey, you know what? Take a game off. Take a game off, be on the bench. You don't have to dress for it, so it'll be an official off game.
Yeah.
And if they treat him with dignity, and that might be why he went off the rails.
I thought you were going to treat him with love and kindness.
No, treat him with dignity. So you treat him like a human and you try to get him through the difficult times because somebody like that is going to go through times like that no matter what.
What do they got? Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, they've got some talent there where, again, he's not even going to be the fourth best player on that team.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy to think about.
He's got
now with Hunter,
much talent.
Yeah.
So much talent.
It's going to be interesting. The deal hasn't been finalized. So the biggest bust to me, Ron, I think Oden. I'll always put Greg Oden there because Greg Oden coming out of Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, I thought the next Shaq, we were this guy's going to be better than Shaq. I think he played for 4 or 5 years. He was done.
Yeah, I don't think he played full 4 or 5 years.
No, I never did. Never did.
I think he was hurt for more than half of that.
Never did. So I'd go Greg. We should do one of those too. Starting 5 worst biggest busts in NBA.
I just think he was so talented.
That might be a special.
He was so talented.
He was.
And it just went to waste because of
the fact that Ben Simmons 28.
Yeah.
We make it seem like this, I've been thinking oh, you know what? He's only been around he's been around for 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
And this is how much of his career has been so bad because he just hasn't played.
Yeah.
All right, Ron.
It was all due to inner demons.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun with Major League Baseball because this is a big story. Pete Alonso, he's staying with the Mets, signed a 2-year deal. $54 million, an opt-out after 1 year, but he's getting paid $30 million his first year. Does this make the Mets the favorite in the National League?
I think it makes them the second.
Right? And I was looking at it. I don't like the Mets starting rotation. Frank Montas, Clay Holmes, Griffin Canny. I'm not sold on that. But think about this lineup, Ron. When you're sitting back and you're going Soto, Alonso, and Francisco Lindor, they've got some phenomenal bats. And to me, Alonso was a big piece for them because they needed it. He's the Judge factor that you saw with the Yankees for Soto.
And you look at his age. Look at his age. What is he, 29? He's not over the hill. Don't count this guy out. Nobody has talked about him throughout the free agency. He hasn't been in the conversation about anything.
They said
he's one of the better players that was available.
Yeah, his home run total is only second to Aaron Judge. They both from the I forgot how many years. So will be booed against the absolutely. I can't wait to see that. Subway Series this year is going to be phenomenal. That's going to be a fun one. But I will say this. If he can put up 45, 50 home runs this season now with Soto, depends on where they're gonna put him, right? They're gonna pitch to one of them.
Like it is completely possible that these two guys can put up 100 home runs. Completely possible. Like, that is insane to think about. If you have a team and you're hitting, say, 300 home runs in a season, you're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
And these two guys are going to get 100 by themselves. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to come down to them and the Dodgers, I think. And honestly, look, I know Shohei and what he did with the bat. We've got to see now. We haven't seen him as the two-way player in a while. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Does that impact him with the bat? Because now you're talking fatigue, right? With the pitching and things like that. It could change a little bit with Ohtani. I still think like Mookie Betts and what they have there. And they picked up that Japanese pitcher. Like they're loaded.
They are loaded.
But I like this move for them. I'd love to see the Mets beat them only because, again, it's like that Kansas City Chiefs situation with this. Like, nobody wants to see the Dodgers win now.
Like, if you exclude Ohtani, do you not feel like Mookie Betts is a potential MVP every year?
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the best players in baseball. And it seems like he's always on the field with somebody else that gets all the limelight.
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, good call, Danny. It's translate almost 5 years in prison.
There we go.
Right? Yeah.
Danny with the news. Thank you. I did not know that.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, they just announced. Yeah, almost 5 years, 56 months. Federal prison, though. Federal prison. Come on. I'm be on a couch. Martha Stewart went to federal prison. I think she's all right. All right. All right. We'll see. This is going to be a fun story to watch. We'll be paying close attention. I think baseball just got a little more interesting because some of the big teams, the Mets will be relevant.
Mets,
right? They'll be relevant. And I think they'll be relevant early. I don't think it's going to be like last season where they had to make this run at the end. I think they're going to be relevant.
The best team in New York.
No, they are not. Stop it. All right, Ron. It is time for split decision.
I've been waiting for this one. You're going to love this.
Our split decision segment, basically, we give each other two more likely questions, and then we got to make a decision. Martha Stewart was helped by Snoop Dogg. Yeah, she was. In many ways, my friend, many ways. All right, so I am first. I will start us off. My first split decision. Ron, which player is more likely to play in more games with his new team over the next 2 seasons? Next 2 seasons. Luka Doncic or Anthony Davis? We are going to challenge each other tonight with these.
I'm going to say Anthony Davis.
Okay.
I don't know why, but
because he's proven he could stay healthy. Oh, wait.
I think, Anthony Davis, when he is motivated, he's he wants to play.
And a shocking comment, Luka.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that he's gonna look when Luka.
Calf's an injury. You're running a lot in basketball.
He's lazy. He's lazy.
I agree. All right. Your first split decision.
Now that he's on the Lakers, I don't like him.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. Your first split decision, Ron.
All right. So I went baseball first.
Baseball.
All right. What is more likely to piss Ron off more?
Ooh.
The fact that the Red Sox depth chart has Ceddanne Rafaela starting at second base and center field. He's starter for both.
What's
on
his
the
name?
depth chart.
Came from Colorado. That came over.
Right? So
what was his name?
Is that
Who
more
is that guy
likely to
again?
piss
He
me
got
off,
hurt.
or is this one more likely to piss me off? The backup for Trevor Story is
Trevor Story.
Rafaela. So seeming Trevor Story never plays, Rafaela's going to be playing 3 positions this year.
Didn't they
At
have
the
a guy
same time.
named
At the
Bogarts?
same time.
Bogarts, wasn't that guy there? He was pretty good. And they got rid of him too. Which pisses you off more?
The fact that Ceddanne Rafaela will be starting center fielder and second baseman at the same time.
Eric is tied around.
Or that he is the backup to Trevor Story, who will be out no matter what because he never plays.
I think what's going to piss you off more is the backup. Because you look at this depth chart and you just keep saying, what the hell is going on in Boston? And if that's your second option, what are they doing? They don't even have a true starting second baseman. And then their backups, not even. So I would go with the backup piece. Because I think you already expect the fact that Story will start and be out by probably April 17th.
No, he'll be out by the 4th inning.
Yeah. Oh, you're not even giving him a full game.
No.
All right. No. So that will probably piss you off more.
Okay.
All right, Ron. My second split decision. Which team, Ron, is more likely to trade for wide receiver Cooper Kupp? The Washington Commanders, the Buffalo Bills, the Houston Texans, or the Baltimore Ravens? All of teams that had lost in this postseason.
That's a good one because I can see that with at least 3 of those teams. Actually, all 4, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be. It's going to depend on T. Higgins, to be honest, and Amari Cooper. It's going to depend on those 2. But I like them with. I like him with Baltimore.
Oh, Danny says none of them.
I like him with Baltimore. I think Baltimore is right now looking at this, and they are worried that they don't get another chance.
That window's closing.
It is.
It is.
So I'll say Baltimore.
Okay. All right. Danny says none of them. Where's he go then, Danny? Danny, you pick a team. Go ahead.
He's going to go to Dallas.
No, come on. I don't believe that.
No, that's what he's going to say.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe Danny would say that. No, stop. Come on. So is Myles Garrett. They're going to trade for the first round pick and first, number 1 overall. But all right, your second, Ron.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me to get Sanders.
Even Dion didn't want to go to Dallas. What's that tell you about?
Yeah, I know, huh? All right, my final one. Oh, you're going to love this, Eric. Has to do with the NFL. If Kansas City wins the Super Bowl and completes the three-peat,
yeah,
who is more likely to get fined for criticizing the refs first? More likely, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Nick Sirianni, or Tom Brady? That's a pretty good one, isn't it? Who's going to get fined first?
I see. Tom, to me, he can't say anything. So I don't think Tom's going to say anything. I will say, though, I could see Sirianni. I don't think a player's going to do it because I just, it's a bad look for the player. So I would go Sirianni because I just feel like that could be a factor if they lose. Like, hey, a couple of calls went our way, we would have won. It's a great question. More likely to me is Sirianni, The least likely is Tom Brady.
You don't think that you think it's the least likely?
Yes, because I just feel like right now he's on thin ice, and that's $300+ million
It
he's
is
going to
the
lose.
Super Bowl. I don't care who you are. Super Bowl Tom Brady will show his face.
So let me ask you this question, because this came up the other day. The Tyree catch in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
the helmet catch. Most people said the Pats get all the calls. They were getting calls, right, for all those years when they won. Technically, Eli Manning was in the grasp, right? And in the old days in football, that play's over.
Yeah.
They didn't stop that play. So were the refs on the Giants side for that game? Or was it, again, plays happen? And I think that's where, but that's what I'm saying. Things happen. And you could have looked at it as a Pats fan saying they blew a call because it should have been an in the grasp. He shouldn't have been able to, right? Been able to even get the pass off because technically they had him wrapped up. It didn't happen. They didn't call it. We know what happened after that, and we lost the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
See, I just don't look, if something is egregious, I don't think that is egregious. I really don't think that was egregious. And yes, it sucked. It sucked big time. But I don't think it was so egregious that, you know, in the Super Bowl, you got to let him make a play. You got to let him make a play. In the grass, nothing. His arm is still free. You know, he could have choked and not thrown it.
I get it, but what I'm saying to you is, though, that was a call that could have gone.
Right.
If the referees really have an agenda, they're making that call for the Pats. And there's so many fans.
I don't buy that. No, I don't buy that.
There's so many fans out there that said that the Patriots got a ton of calls in their favor.
Yeah. Maybe, but I don't think in that case against New York, I don't think so. I think
I'm just saying.
I know, but that was, like I said, it's not an egregious one. If an egregious call or non-call happens, somebody's saying something.
AI is coming for first downs. Yeah, and that's another thing about AI. They're like, that's another thing they're saying. At some point, maybe there's just computer chips in the ball and things. And
I have no problem with that.
But then who knows if teams don't mess with the ball? I don't know.
Come on. Players do not mess with the football.
Good call. Never happened ever. All right, Ron, let's talk some National Hockey League, the NHL. And the NHL Players Association, they're appealing the Ryan Hartman's 10-game suspension. Do you think it's warranted that he got 10 games?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I looked at this play. Now, let's talk the history of this player. 7 times he got fined for not so nice hits and stuff. 4 times suspended. His last time was last year, 3-game suspension.
Yeah, it's 4th suspension.
When I seen the play, you clearly see his arm go to the back of his neck, and he looked like he was WWE.
So, Ron, I had to do this today, and I talked to an insider. So, professional goalie, played for the Olympic hockey team. I'm being serious. And I asked him today, I said, what did you think of the play? And he doesn't feel it was dirty. He said that there's been times when he's been in the crease and a guy's coming through and he's trying to move to the other side of the crease where he's lost his balance, and he uses the player as a way to try to stabilize himself to get either stay on his feet or, be able to get back up quickly. Yeah. I agree with you in this aspect. I felt when I said it, when we were talking, I felt it was legitimate. Like he just used his forearm and put him in the ice. That's how I saw it.
Look,
but I haven't played professional hockey. I don't know.
I didn't play in the NHL, but I played. And that was 100% deliberate. You see the way he pushes down on the guy's neck. He not only did that, he planned it off the face-off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
go
think was a
that
weird
far.
spot too, because it was on the face-off. If it was like a regular hockey play, like they were just skating, maybe then I could say, hey, look, he was probably going down the momentum. They were just standing there, and then he went
No,
down.
it was
I could see that.
it was not a good play. And frankly, this is another one of those guys that they need to start coming down harder
And
on.
I think you said it. The history has been there with this player.
Yeah.
So Hartman has been suspended 4 times in the last 2 seasons, right? Couple of fines. So he's a dirty player.
He is.
That even if he was, let's just say, Ron, he's telling legitimate truth, and he was just falling down trying to keep his balance, and that's what happened. Unfortunately, because of what happened in the past,
Right.
it automatically looks bad for you regardless.
Right.
So,
and
longest suspension, Ron.
He could have devastated the player and the team.
Yeah. What, Tim Stutzels? Did I say
Stutzla.
Stutzla. Longest suspension for an on-ice conduct in the last 6 seasons. So 6 years since somebody's seen this many games.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think he is worse than Marchand and Wilson. He's worse.
Tom Wilson gets mentioned a lot too, right?
Yeah. But
another guy.
Like, this is, Marchand does these stupid retaliatory things. He'll go up and he'll stick somebody in the groin, which is not good, but it's more retaliatory. But this was nothing. This was a non-play that he just smashed his face into the ice.
Because he didn't really stick it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Hartman.
And what is licking somebody's cheek that bad?
All right, next time I'm with you, Ron, I'll lick your cheek. You let me.
Yeah, no.
Okay, then. There you go. That's the point. Okay.
Yeah, it's bad, but it was not bad. It's not
even wrong.
It's funny, more funny than anything.
It's not a hockey play, but yeah, it's crazy. But we'll see if it gets. What do you think that it gets upheld?
Oh, absolutely. I think it does. If they might just take away 2 games, but it will definitely be. It'll be substantial.
All right. Rampy is a POS. Oh, hey, PO. Oh, hey.
Rampy is
a POS.
Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, God. That dude has no talent. I'm sorry. He should not be in the NHL.
Forced to quit.
From the Rangers.
Don't lick cheeks. There we go. Problem solved.
Don't lick cheeks.
Don't lick cheeks. That sounds like a real bad movie. All right, Ron.
Maybe it's Maurice Cheeks.
Maurice, that's what I was thinking exactly. Let's move on to our pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
Thank you, Kenny.
Our pick and roll segment every week has to do a little bit something about our episode. So we are on episode 6, the Green Miles. Great title. These NBA players, Ron, all had 6 blocks and 6 steals in a game. And they were Anthony Davis, Andrei Kirilenko, David Robertson, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Elvin Hayes. We're going to rank them from 5 to 1.
Yeah, this was.
I am going to start us off. This was a very good list. Very good player. Good, right? But unfortunately, against these guys, I had to put him at 5. Andrei Kirilenko averaged 11.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists. I even added this, Ron, because it was steals and blocks. 1.4 steals in his career, 1.8 blocks per game in his career. A one-time All-Star, one-time blocks champ, 3-time All-Defensive. I remember how tough he was defensively in Utah.
The only non-Hall of Famer on this list.
Yeah. And he's a good player. Good player.
Yeah, good player.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't say good player. At 4, I went Anthony Davis. 24.2 points, 10.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.4 steals, and 2.4 blocks per game. 9-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 3-time blocks, 5 all defensives run and a championship. But the guys ahead of him, wow. And it was tough.
It was tough. I thought the numbers were pretty similar.
Very
across
close
the
on a lot of them.
board,
Yeah, there
but
was a
just
couple little
like
pieces.
a little bit better
Yeah,
each time.
So I went at 3, Elvin Hayes. And this guy, his numbers are phenomenal. 21 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, which was the best out of these guys. 1.8 assists, 1 steal per game, 2 blocks per game in his career. 12-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, 2-time rebounding, 1-time scoring, 2 All-Defensives, and a championship. You're like, that's crazy that he's third. But the 2 guys ahead of him, holy cow. David Robinson at 2 for me, 21.1 points per game, 10.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.4 steals per game. Ron, he averaged 3 blocks per game in his career, 3 blocks per game, 10-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA, 1-time rebounding, 1-time scoring, 1-time blocks, 8-time All-Defensive, a 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. He won an MVP. He was a Rookie of the Year and a 2-time champion.
And those aren't even the best numbers.
Every time we've had this guy on a list, he seems to be number one because he's just was that incredible. Yep. The dream, Hakeem Olajuwon, 21.8 points per game, which was second most on this list. 11.1 rebounds, second most on this list. 2.5 assists, 1.7 steals per game, 3.1 blocks per game. A 12.
I don't want to interrupt, but how many steals?
1.7 steals per game for a center.
Right. And this is a big guy.
Yeah, for a center. It's crazy. 12-time All-Star Ron, 12-time All-NBA, 2-time rebounding, so 1 more than Robinson, 3-time blocks, 2 more than Robinson, 9-time All-Defensive, 1 more than Robinson, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 1 more than Robinson. Both had 1 MVP and 2 championships. Hakeem Olajuwon, my number 1 on this pick and roll this week.
Cue the crowd cheers. I have it the same exact way. Exactly. Look, like you said, Kirilenko was a very good player, and let's not take away anything that he accomplished in his career because it was certainly a solid NBA player that is just short of a Hall of Famer. Now, with that being said, Anthony Davis at number 4, he is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
That is without a doubt. He's got all the qualifications to do that. And I really think championships matter. And you know this. So he's got his championship. Okay. He'd like to get more, I'm sure. Will he? I don't know. Probably not. But that's besides the point. But when you look at the potent scoring, and he's playing better this year.
Yeah.
He's having a better year than his averages.
Agreed.
So yes, he is far from done. They're going to get a good 4 or 5 years out of this guy.
Agreed.
And they're going to contend all this time if they can keep this team together.
Agreed.
Those players that can make a difference in a game they don't come easy. And when you look at these numbers, the 9 All-Stars, the 5 All-NBAs, the All-Defensive, I mean, this is what champions are made of, is this kind of thing. And I know I'll be the first one to admit that I criticized him for not dominating. When this guy wants to be the best player on the floor, he's the best player on the floor, period. You just got to want it.
Yeah.
And I think the trade might have woken up a beast, and the Western Conference should be on alert. Number 3, Elvin Hayes. The numbers speak for themselves. He's a Hall of Famer. This guy, a scoring title, he's done it all. And he has the championship as well. 12-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA. Fantastic player. What a great player he is. And then David Robinson. I mean, we talk about him a lot.
The Admiral.
A lot.
They had good nicknames back then too. See, the
Ah.
Dream, the Admiral,
Yes.
Air
Right?
Jordan, like round mound of rebound, right? Like Magic. You know what I mean?
And then, of course, Hakeem. I mean, you said the stats.
It's ridiculous.
But
Unreal.
these stats, like, we put him in these things, you know, when it pops up. I don't think we plan it too much. Maybe you do, but I know I don't. But when these guys keep coming up in conversations, there's got to be something to it. And I'll tell you, from day one, when we started the show, and I'm not talking 25 years ago, I'm talking when we started doing the podcast, I didn't have him as high up on the list. I, at one time, had everybody, not everybody, but you know, like Shaq and Robinson and all these guys ahead of Hakeem. And then when you start to compare his numbers to everyone else,
It's pretty impressive.
top 10 player all time.
Agreed.
Enough said.
Phenomenal. And we got robbed
Great list.
because if Jordan didn't go play baseball those 2 years, we would have got to see Jordan versus Hakeem, and I think that would have been a phenomenal series. Houston versus the Bulls. We got robbed.
Best players of them at that decade?
That time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have been fun. All right, Ron, before we get into our predictions, make sure everybody stays tuned for prediction. Kyle, don't leave. Hugo, don't leave. Danny, don't leave. You guys got to make your predictions. We did want to first off congratulate our new inductees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Lindsey Vaughn and Phil Esposito, our newest members to the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. You can see it there. Check out the Sports Unfolded website. You will be able to see we have a nice Hall of Fame page with all of the inductees in our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. All the players on the left there have all been part of the voting, but have not gotten in. So those two, Lindsey Vaughn now on the Olympics part, and Phil Esposito in the NHL for the hockey. Congratulations to both of them.
Yeah, great athletes, of course. That goes without saying. But we still have more.
We have more. So now polls are open. Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook. Go to the page and help us induct the next member of the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. And this month's nominees are Gary Carter, Carlton Fisk, Tony Pena, Ted Simmons, and Lance Parrish from Major League Baseball. Very tough, all catches.
Great guys of the 80s.
And
70s.
For the NFL, Jim Kelly, Dan Fouts, John Elway, Warren Moon, and Bernie Kosar. One of these players will be the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. This is a tough one. We need as many votes as possible. Cast your votes. Go to the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook and begin to cast your votes for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Polls are open. So polls are open. Help us induct. And then check out the Sports Unfolded website, and you can see all of the accolades from all of these great athletes that are inducted.
It's the address of the website.
Oh, my God. You're asking a lot, buddy. It's www. something sports/wix something.
Is it on your on the Facebook page?
It is on the Facebook page.
Okay.
It is on the Facebook page. I will have it next week. It's a lot. It's a lot of words. A lot of words. You want me to get it? I could get it. I'll get it right now. Hold on.
Well, what I will do, Eric, is I can, because I
add
have,
it to the, you should add it to the.
I have ribroadcasting.net, I believe. So what I will do is I will also put a link on there for it as well.
But hold on. Where I want to go.
Somebody is just like Blasting.
It is a Sports Unfolded 2021.wixsite.com/website.
Holy mackerel.
I told you it was a lot.
We got to work on that.
So again, it's on. If you go to our Facebook page, it is on there. It has the actual website. Words are hard. Yes, they are, Hugo. All right, my friend.
Why don't you just go to GoFather? I won't say the website because they're not
Yeah.
sponsoring us. And just get
Because I
a.
already built this thing. It's been there for a while.
Well, no,
So-
you can just link up the thing to it. That's what I do.
All right, we'll talk
You
about it.
link up a name to it. It's
Okay.
only like a few bucks.
Let's get into the predictions because this was a rough week for both of us.
Oh, do I have to bring it up?
So last week, we both went 1-5. Danny 3-2. James, the big winner last week, 5-1. Hugo 2-4.
James.
So
I gotta send you out something.
again,
So
if you are joining us live, so Kyle, here's your opportunity to get your name on the chart as well. Hugo, make sure you get your picks in. Danny as well. Let's see how you do this week. We've got a few games here to discuss. Maybe one big game that we're going to also do our predictions on. I am first this week, Ron.
well, James gets a prize, so he has to message me his address so that way we can send him out something.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, James. All right. So this week we start off 2-8. Tomorrow you got the Boston Celtics at the New York Knicks. The Boston Celtics have not lost a game after they've lost a game. So they're like a perfect, I think, 14-0 since after a loss.
I think
this
they lost
season.
once.
This season. They have not lost back-to-back games.
That's not what they
After-
did last time.
Well, I don't know. So I'm going Boston here.
Yeah, I'm going Boston as well. I'm not gonna let them, off the hook by no means. They should have been able to handle that Dallas Maverick team.
I just don't get it. At home, too. At
Yeah.
home. So who do you guys have out there? Boston Celtics at the New York Knicks, and that is tomorrow night. Who's your picks? Danny,
Ooh,
you
write
go.
these down.
Kyle, what do you got? All right, Danny's going Boston. Boston as well. Hugo. Kyle, you got to pick, Kyle. You in there? Come on. Boston Celtics at the New York Knicks. Who you picking? Kyle left us. All right. Second game run in the NBA that we're going to do our prediction. February 10th. It's my mom's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Mom. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who do you have? Need Holiday back. But he's picking Boston. All right, Kyle's on the chart. All right, Kyle.
I am gonna go Cleveland. Even if he plays or not. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, listen, DeAndre Hunter, right? We probably won't play. Usually these trades, it takes a couple days or games. But
they
I
get
agree
there.
with you. I think Cleveland now is extremely motivated, especially after the Boston loss. I went Cleveland as well. Although the Timberwolves just had a big game and won. I think they beat OKC.
Yeah, they did.
Hugo went Cleveland. So far, we got a clean sweep.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a great game.
Minnesota's playing some good teams and winning, but then they keep losing to the teams they should beat.
Interesting. All right. Anybody else out there? Minnesota at the Cleveland
Watch out
Cavaliers.
for Dallas, Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards, though. I mean, the kid's a player.
I know.
Danny went Cleveland.
These guys are all on a 20-minute delay.
What do you got, Kyle?
He's on that Kenny delay. I miss Kenny. He's been working late.
I know. Kenny, James not on tonight. It's all right, though. Listen, we know. All right. We're going to move on. NHL, Ron. Got the Colorado Avalanche at the Edmonton Oilers. That game is tonight. Edmonton, very good at home. So I went Edmonton here.
Yeah, I did too. Edmonton Oilers, they're tough to beat, and I'm not sold on that trade for them, for the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, Natchez is a good player, but he's not Rantanen.
Danny, who do you pick, Danny? He misses Kenny, too. That's good. Austin, Fire Sweeney. Austin has to get you going on the Bruins every time. It's just one of those things.
I don't know what the hell this team is waiting for. I really don't.
He just wants to get you going every single time.
Well,
Danny,
they're gonna end up firing him, and they're gonna hire Patrice Bergeron to take his place. That's what they're gonna do.
Danny went Oilers.
Austin, who do you got in this one? Colorado at Edmonton. Wow, they're taking a long time.
You go. I think we got a slight delay. I'm not mad
Must
at that
be.
idea, Ron. Hey, there he goes. Yeah, you finally got Austin back on your side. Austin, you want to make a pick, man? Colorado Avalanche at the Edmonton Oilers. That game tonight. Who would you pick? Get Austin on the chart. Oilers. Okay, Austin's on the chart. Stay tuned for the rest of them, Austin. We got a few more games to go. Just waiting on Hugo. Hugo got a pick for the Colorado Avalanche Oilers as well. Clean sweep there. All right. Also tonight, Ron, Dallas Stars at the Los Angeles Kings. That game's on, I think, at 10 tonight, Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, I'm going to go Dallas. I'm going to go road team on this one.
Going road team.
I think Dallas, with that trade that they made, should help a little bit. I would imagine he's playing tonight because hockey players do that. They don't wait like a week before they go to their new team, even though, Anthony Davis was there and he didn't play, which is
Austin went Kings.
Which is BS.
I agree with Austin. I went Kings, and I think they got like 3 home losses all season. Something crazy. Yep. So very, very good team at home.
Oh, they are. They're a good team, period.
Danny, who do you have?
Danny, Hugo. Let's go. Let's go. Oh,
Dallas. Oh, yeah, it's a surprise. Danny, Dallas. Dallas starts. That was the dumbest trade in the history of the NBA. Dallas Stars. Dallas for Hugo. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the trade, Austin. We did talk about it, but that Luka Doncic trade is definitely something that will be talked about for years. February 8th, tomorrow, you got the Vegas Golden Knights, Ron, at the Boston Bruins. Old friend coming back to town, Jim Montgomery. I went Vegas here. I don't trust Boston.
I don't either. I
don't know what team you're going to get. And
look, it's bizarre because they're losing to the teams behind them and they're beating the teams ahead of them. They beat Minnesota. They beat, other teams like Florida. And I don't understand what the hell this team is doing. I really don't. One game, they can play fantastic, lights out, shutout, right? And then they just completely fall apart in the next game that they should win. I'm going Vegas.
Oh,
I'm off. I'm
holy
off
cow.
the train.
spits in their face. He hopes Montgomery spits in their face. Hugo staying true to it. Going Boston. Going Boston.
I hope you're right,
Danny,
Hugo.
who do you got, Danny?
But you're not going to be.
Vegas Golden Knights at the Boston Bruins. That game tomorrow night. I know you'll be watching.
Who, me?
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for your angry text. Of course you will.
No, I'm going to a movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to worry about being home for Bruins games anymore because they just make me angry.
Okay. Well, everything makes you angry, so that's not fair. You can't go that route. What doesn't make you angry?
I'm going to a 4
What's
o'clock
more
movie,
likely,
so
Ron?
I'll see it.
You
I'll
getting
be
angry at something? Shame, shame. All right, Danny. Last chance we move on. Vegas. There you go, Danny. All right. Men's college basketball, Ron. Big matchup tonight. You got the number 12 St. John's Red Storm at number 19 Yukon Huskies.
I'm going to take the Yukon Huskies for 100, Eric.
Okay. I went Red Storm here. They've won like 9 straight. Rick Pitino coaching that team now. They're really starting to play well. Can I ask you a question while everybody goes Yukon for Austin? Didn't they change their name? Because I swear they were a different name. I don't remember the Red Storm. It wasn't the Red Storm. St. John's Red something.
Yeah, no, I think that's what it was.
You sure?
Yeah.
Danny went Yukon. Austin, we're just waiting on. Hugo went Huskies as well. Beautiful. All right. Women's college basketball. Big matchup, top 10 matchup. Number 8, Ohio State Buckeyes at number 7, USC Trojans. I went USC.
Wait,
here.
What was it?
USC Trojans.
No, the team that's playing them.
Ohio State Buckeyes, number 8. Number 8 Buckeyes versus
I didn't write it down. I don't know why.
USC Trojans. I went Trojans here. It's always good protection
I'm going
to go with them.
Trojans as well. Go home team.
You didn't get that one, huh?
Yeah, I got it. I just ignored it.
Come on. That was a good one. Austin went Buckeyes. Danny went USC, West Coast there. I could see that. Hugo said he's got a slight delay. We give him a minute.
Refresh, fresh.
Excited.
Very good. That's a great song. One of my favorite.
It's Redmond. See, it was the Redmond until 1994. I told you. It was the Redmond. I was like, I'm ready.
Oh, that's why.
Yes.
Oh.
And he's going with
that's horrible.
See? Hugo went with the Trojans as well. Eric gets tired of Trojans. All right, last game, Ron. For all
Danny's
the marbles. This Sunday, February 9th, 6:30 p.m., the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles for the NFL title, Super Bowl 59. Who you got?
I'm going Philadelphia. I can't bring myself to say Kansas City. Can't do it.
I'm going to lock this one in because I'm going Kansas City here. You don't bet against Mahomes, the ref, so he's going Kansas City. Austin. Austin went Kansas City. Danny went Kansas City. Let's just see where Hugo goes.
Austin went with the refs.
So he's got Kansas City. I take it. Listen.
So basically, I'm going to be on an island by myself.
No Pete.
Hugo.
You don't want the 3-Pete. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. All right. Gentlemen, thank you for participating. Austin, you will be on the list next week. So tune in.
Austin said, "Fly, Eagles, fly."
Yeah. So Nah, he's going, okay, Austin. All right, we'll move it on. All right. Austin, you will be on our prediction chart list next week, so tune in to see how you did. Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, you want to tell all the wonderful people out there how they could become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded, get their name and banner or their name on our banner, and then a nice giant
I will,
spot
Eric.
right on the show?
So to do that, it's very easy. Very easy. So to sponsor the show, your ad will be here. We will read the ad, so not only will people see it, but it will be heard on the audio version for Spotify, Amazon, Red Circle, and many more. So send us an email at not Fly Eagles Fly, but at Rhode Island at ribroadcasting.media at gmail.com. We can send you the media kit that can tell you exactly what you have to do. But Eric, you know this. I say it all the time. It's as easy as going to your local coffee shop and buying a strawberry latte, if there's such a thing. Strawberry latte for Valentine's week, right? Along with a strawberry filled donut. Strawberry filled.
He's going all the love is in the world.
And it costs less than that.
You can sponsor our show. I will say I want to thank everybody. WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. Thank you for your support. 990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island as well. Both on Saturdays, broadcasting our podcast, as well as SCTV, Public Access Channel 12, every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Do want to say as well, you can like, share, and follow our show on all our social media platforms. You can order from Patreon some great Sports Unfolded merchandise, videos, stickers, pens, mugs, so much more. So check that out. I'll take 2 of those from Hugo. Just go on Patreon. You can order them right from there. As well as I want to thank everybody that joined us live tonight. You guys have been great. Yes, Austin, next Friday night, 6 p.m. Tune in for that. We do have a special show this Sunday. We're planning on noon or 1 o'clock, somewhere in that area, to do our Super Bowl preview show. So again, if you want to talk Super Bowl a few hours before the big game, join us this Sunday as we will be on Rhode Island Broadcasting and Sports Unfolded to have some fun and see who we think might win the game and why. I think you already got some of that, but guess what? We'll give you even more reasons why we believe.
That's right.
But Ron, as much fun as we've had, it is time for our final thoughts. And our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. I'll try to join. I'll be in class, unfortunately. Not a problem, Austin. I appreciate it. Well, tune in later. You could always see how you made out. When you get time,
class.
That's it. School's overrated now. But I will say this.
Class on Sundays?
No, not maybe. I don't know. I thought he meant Friday. Probably Friday show, buddy. Not Sundays. Sunday show, Austin will be there. He wants to talk Super Bowl. Everybody wants to talk Super Bowl Sunday. All right. Again, not necessarily sports related, anything that's going on in the world today. I am first this week. I will give you my final thought. And I want to congratulate the 4 new members who were elected into the NHL Hall of Fame: Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Eric Allen, and Sterling Schaub.
Of the NHL?
NFL.
That's better.
NFL. Did I say NHL?
Yeah.
NFL. Let's congratulate them on the accomplishment. But I really wanted to discuss the 2 that were left off. Adam Vinatieri and Eli Manning. Both kind of linked because of Super Bowls. Maybe not against each other. But I agree that Manning didn't deserve to get in. Just based on the fact his overall record, he's a 500 quarterback. But how does the committee not allow Adam Vinatieri? I did say NHL. Okay. There goes my perfect record. It's ruined, guys. Thanks. But one of the greatest kickers of all time in NFL history, and some of the biggest kicks in the playoffs ever, that snowball game, their first victory against the Rams and that kick. How does Adam Vinatieri, who had an 83.8% field goal percentage, 97.3% extra point, 3-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, and a 4-time Super Bowl champion, not get into the Hall of Fame? I think they need to give kickers some love. Well-deserved. Adam Vinatieri should have been in. And I feel like all-time leading scorer as well, Austin. How does this guy not get in to the NFL Hall of Fame? They should be ashamed of themselves. Gates, very great player. Jaron Allen, Eric Allen, Sterling Sharp, very good players. But Adam Vinatieri is just as good as those three, and he should have been in as well. This has been one of the lowest inductees, they said, since I think it's 2005, almost 20 years. You couldn't get Adam Vinatieri in there. He should be in next year. Keep Eli Manning out. That's my final thought.
Yeah, Eric. Again, I was going to just touch on Adam Vinatieri because he should be in there. I don't know what the voters are waiting for. I mean, he's clearly the most clutch that I've seen in my lifetime, and I've seen a lot of games, let me tell you. I just don't know what you expect a guy to do. You know, we looked at this in baseball. It took a long time for closers to get in. Now they're throwing in anybody. But this is, Vinatieri is the kicker of all time. The kicker. He has more big kicks than probably anybody on the planet. And you couldn't get him in there? I think if he wore a different jersey, I bet he would have.
Yeah, listen, they've kept Robert Kraft out, and now Adam Vinatieri. I agree with you, Austin. Maybe we're a little biased because we did see some of these kicks, but the numbers speak for themselves as well. And again, 3-time All-Pro, which we know what All-Pro means. The best kicker for 3 times in his career. They felt he was the best kicker and yet didn't get in. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
And the other thing I want to say is, look, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We all see what happens after the Super Bowl is done and after all the parties are done. Please don't do something stupid, especially the players out there, because I guarantee at least 4 or 5 players are probably going to get arrested, and they might not be the ones in the game. They're going to be drinking, they're going to drive, and they're going to do something stupid. And I don't want to have to look up on Monday morning somebody getting run over because of one of these players who were drunk driving.
Yeah.
So
before we go, Hugo, if it's rigged and the Eagles win, then what people say, like, what happens? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, if they put him in better. Martin Gramatica, too. Martin Gramatica.
Remember when he got hurt by
jumping up? Yeah, he celebrated.
Celebration.
All right, so that's been our show tonight. Season 5, episode 6, The Green Miles. I love that episode name, Ron. Great job there. I want to thank everybody that joined us live. Austin, Hugo, Danny, you guys have been amazing. Thank you. Again, we are on every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live. We are fan interactive. We have so much fun. We have a Super Bowl special this Sunday as well. Join us for that. And tune in next week to see how you made out with your predictions. And all we ever ask for every single episode is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.